Aston Martin's journey with the Valkyrie hypercar is a story of ambition, genius, and the heavy price a company can pay when it reaches too far, too fast. For a brand built on elegance, motorsport heritage, and centuries-old British craftsmanship, the Valkyrie was never meant to be just another car. It was meant to be the ultimate machine, the closest thing to a Formula One car that a regular person could legally drive on a public road. And in many ways, it achieved that. But behind the breathtaking engineering and the futuristic design, the project carried a cost so heavy that it nearly drained the company dry. This documentary-style story looks at how the pursuit of perfection pushed Aston Martin to the edge of its financial limits, and how the Valkyrie became both a masterpiece and a warning about the true price of innovation. The idea for the Valkyrie didn't begin as a simple business plan. It began as a dream to create a hypercar that reset every rule the automotive world had accepted. Aston Martin partnered with some of the brightest minds in racing and aerodynamics, bringing in Formula One expertise, radical materials, and technology so advanced that it stretched engineering teams to their limits. Every component of the Valkyrie was custom-made. Nothing was borrowed from other cars. The chassis, the wheels, the shape of the body, the naturally aspirated V12 engine that screamed at unheard of RPMs, everything was pushed to extremes. And extremes are expensive. As development progressed, the costs rose far higher than early budgets had predicted. Research, testing, delays, redesigns, and the painful reality that pushing the limits of physics is never cheap began to weigh heavily on Aston Martin's finances. The company was already small compared to luxury giants, and every pound spent on the Valkyrie was a pound taken away from the rest of the business. At first, the excitement surrounding the project brought in hope. Customers placed deposits, the press called it revolutionary, and Aston Martin believed the Valkyrie would elevate the brand to new heights. But as time passed, the production process revealed how difficult it truly was to build something this extreme. Delays mounted. Parts took months to perfect. Each car required so much labor and custom engineering that the costs ballooned far beyond what customers were paying. Instead of boosting liquidity, the Valkyrie began consuming it. What was meant to be Aston Martin's shining crown jewel slowly turned into a financial drain. The company reported tightening cash flow, rising debt, and an urgent need for fresh capital. Producing a hypercar with technology never seen before meant the company could not escape the simple truth. Innovation at this level burns money at an unbelievable speed. Inside the company, the financial pressure became impossible to ignore. Aston Martin had other models to sell, factories to run, employees to pay, and investors to satisfy. But the Valkyrie demanded constant attention. Cars had to be rebuilt, fixed, or adjusted. Customers who paid millions grew impatient with delays. Engineers worked long hours trying to solve problems that had never existed in any road car before. What should have been a symbol of Aston Martin's future instead became a constant reminder of how fragile the company's liquidity had become. Emergency funding rounds, new investors, and ownership changes unfolded as Aston Martin tried to stay alive while still honoring its promise, delivering the most extreme hypercar ever created. Despite all the financial strain, the Valkyrie did eventually reach the hands of customers. It lived up to its mission. It was fast, loud, brutally powerful, and so advanced that many said it felt like piloting a race car more than driving a road car. In a way, this validated Aston Martin's years of struggle. They proved they could do the impossible. But the bigger question lingered. Was it worth it? The cost of developing the Valkyrie placed enormous pressure on Aston Martin's liquidity. It forced the company into a cycle of raising money just to stay afloat. It strained investor confidence, interrupted other vehicle programs, and reminded the world that even brilliant engineering cannot escape financial reality. The Valkyrie became both a triumph and a lesson, a reminder that creating something extraordinary often demands extraordinary sacrifice. In the end, the Valkyrie stands as one of the most impressive hypercars ever built, a symbol of what happens when a company chases perfection without compromise. But behind that beauty lies a complicated truth. Aston Martin achieved engineering greatness, yet it came at the cost of financial stability. The story of the Valkyrie shows how a dream can push a company forward while also pulling it dangerously close to the edge. It is a story of vision, struggle, risk, and resilience, a reminder that the price of brilliance is rarely small, and sometimes the pursuit of greatness demands more than a company can comfortably afford.